Alright, today we're going to put everything together we did in the first part of the 3 Arduino Basic videos. Today we're going to make the blinking LED. So to do that we're going to need a few things. We are going to need an LED. It's just a 5mm red LED. Always pay attention to which lead is the longer lead. That's your positive, the anode. You're going to need a suitable resistor to limit the current so that we don't burn out the LED. And in this case, that's a 220 ohm resistor. We're going to need a jumper wire to go from the anode, the positive, to the signal pin on the Arduino. And then we are going to need a negative wire. So let's put this together. It's really simple. Grab our breadboard here. I am going to put the anode, let's go column 20 and we'll start in row E. The anode is in 20, so the cathode is in 19. We just got to get them plugged in there. Our resistor goes from the negative connection, the cathode, to our ground rail. Our signal wire goes from the positive, the cathode, and that's going to go into one of our Arduino pins. And then this jumper here, we're going to plug into the ground rail, and it's going to go into the ground pin of the Arduino. So let's make our 2 Arduino connections. We'll bring in the Arduino here, and we'll put our breadboard right next to it. So our first connection is going to be the ground. So I'm going to take our ground jumper wire, and it is going to plug into one of the ground ports. There's 2 of them there. Next, we're going to take our blue signal wire, and I'm just going to plug it into pin number 8. Alright, so now we have made our connections. Take a look here and make sure what you have looks like what you see here. Now it doesn't matter where you plug in the ground connection on that line, just as long as it's somewhere in that negative line and that it plugs into the ground connection. And make sure your positive jumper is going over to the LED pin. And next we will be heading for the software. Alright, we open up our Arduino software and we are going to write the code to make that LED blink. In the setup, we need to tell it what pin the LED is on by using the command pin mode, and then in parentheses 8, that's the number of the pin, and we need to tell it that is an output, and we end with a semicolon. Now we're going to come down here to the loop, which is a part that runs over and over. And we're going to say digital write eight, comma, high. That turns the LED on. And remember to always end your lines with a semicolon. Then we're going to wait for a second. Delay. Thousand milliseconds. Then we're going to turn it off. the semicolon, and another 1 second delay. And that's it. So let's test out our code by clicking on the check mark. And if there wants me to give it a name, okay, we'll just call this blink. And you can see down here it says compiling sketch. Uh-oh. So we've got an error. But it tells you what it is. It's missing a semicolon. What did I forget? The semicolon at the end of that line. So let's go and compile it again. And there we have it. The code compiled correctly. So all we have to do now is upload it. We're ready to upload. Got the USB cable plugged into the computer. So we're going to come over to our Arduino. And we plug in the USB cable here. It's a little tricky to do one-handed. And you can see that the power light is on. Everything is ready. We're going to come back up here to the IDE, our environment. I'm just going to check tools. Make sure our board is listed as Arduino. And our port is COM4, that's good. And we will click the check mark, or the arrow rather, and send the code to the Arduino. Let's get back to the Arduino. And here in a second you'll see the transmit and receive lights flash. The code is complete. And our LED blinks on and off. Pretty simple, but pretty cool and very satisfying to have your first project done. Now once you've done this, feel free to come back over to the IDE, change the timing, change the delay times, make it blink twice and then pause. Do whatever you want, play around, you're not going to blow anything up. If you enjoyed this video, how about giving me a like? I'd even take a subscribe.